finishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna conscious. In the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. This highest perfectional stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to Krishna's abode in the spiritual Kai, Goloka Vrindavana, where the devotee becomes eternally happy.
Thank you so much. So we have read this beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. We have to remember this, simply by performing devotional service. Devotional service means, can anyone translate that into English? Devotional service, what is devotional service?
Bhakti?
Okay, yes, bhakti. 1 second, let me just turn off the mute. I'm sorry, there was an interruption. Yes, devotional service means bhakti. So we need to understand bhakti is not just devotion. It is always included with service. What is service? Can anyone quickly say what is exactly service?
Doing something, doing an action for the benefit of others, for the welfare of others, without expecting anything in return.
Wonderful, beautiful definition. Without expectation. Is that word expectation? It's quite hard, actually speaking, because there may be some expectation. Sometimes it may not be monetary, but there may be some other expectation, name, fame, prestige, anything. But without any expectation, if we can do that, that's perfect. That's called pure devotional service. So there are stages which we talked about many times. So we'll also discuss today. So now let's understand this. There are so many ways, right? It is given studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, and pursuing philosophical discussion or speculation, and then fruitive activities. So let's go. Studying the Vedas. It is patan patan. That is very, very important. Vedeshu. And performing sacrifices is yajna. And austerities is tapa. Giving charity is dhana. And philosophical and fruitive activities is karma kanda. Excuse me. So the punya phalam, that is results of the pious work, that is punya, which we know, punya. That is the karma kanda things related to that. And then Krishna says, many times, this is the way people, many of us think. I used to think like that. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to be in several organizations. And some of them were following the Jnana Marg, some of them, following different paths. And many times we have a feeling that those who are studying the Vedas, those who are studying the scriptures are the highest. And those who are doing the devotion, which is very emotional, sentimental, that's not. And that is the general tendency. And we also used to think like, that means when you're studying Vedas, you need to deeply try to understand. Then comes the philosophical speculation, the Jnana aspect. But actually speaking, Krishna, the Supreme Lord himself says, please don't think like that. When you perform devotional service, all these benefits, by, doing all these things, all the 6 things, you get them. Along with that, much more benefit you get. What is that much more benefit? You get the pure love for Krishna. You will be recognized by Krishna. All other paths, it is not a guarantee that Krishna will recognize us. And you might wonder, why do we kind of bother about whether Krishna recognizes us or not? If you get the benefit, that's fine. But there is a difference. Let me tell you. See, recognition, it is a very, very, very a basic want of a human being. Wherever we go, we seek some recognition. In a small group or in a big group, there is a tendency to be recognized. Why? Because we want to feel valued. We are valued of. And here, not only Krishna recognizes, he gives the pure devotional service, and Krishna says at the end, that person reaches the supreme eternal abode. What is supreme eternal abode? Can anyone give me a name for that?
Goloka Vrindavan.
Goloka Vrindavan. Yes, there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. The topmost planet is Goloka Vrindavan. Just imagine, Krishna guarantees by performing bhakti, you are guaranteed to get that Goloka Vrindavan, which is the topmost planet where Krishna personally resides with his devotees, very dear devotees. So he guarantees that. It's not an easy thing. It is like saying that, We know, when people come to our house, different kind of people, how we treat them. For those who are coming to deliver packages, do we ask them to sit in the sofa? Or do we give some drink? No. Many times what they do, they knock at the door and give the package and go. Or even these days, just ring the bell, keep the box or package right at the door, they move away. And if you come out, we say thank you to them. That's it. That's one set. Then another times, there are people who come for some marketing. You may open the door, talk to them for a few minutes. That's it. Close the door. And there are another set of people whom you will let them in into, the living space. And the other set of people, you make them sit comfortably and you treat them well. And then another set of people, you let them into your kitchen, right? When somebody can enter the kitchen, they become more intimate, right? Nobody can just go into the kitchen. But even more intimate, you take them to your personal rooms and show them. And then you may even bring out your wedding album or some, some important things and show them. You see the difference in different way we treat people with different, recognition. Yes, those who are very intimate, you take them to your secret place. You are not secret in the sense in hiding place. I'm saying secret in the sense most important place for you. You don't generally take people to bedroom or place where you keep important things, right? So this is the point. Now Krishna is saying, person who performs bhakti, he gets Goloka Vrindavan, which is the topmost planet, where he performs pastimes which are amazing, which are so wonderful. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, coming to the point of recognition. See, all other paths, Krishna may recognize or may not recognize. That is not a guarantee. Because as long as we have these anarthas in our mind, what are the 6 anarthas? 6 unwanted things in our mind. Can anyone say? I'll say in Sanskrit, you can say in English. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. What are these?
Lust or intense desire for something, anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha.
Lobha. Lobha is greed. Moha.
Moha is attachment for something. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha. Then
Mada.
acharyam is like envious or being, feeling envious for something. Then
Yes,
what is
Matsarya, yes. Mada.
Matsarya? Mada is like ahankaram or
Pride.
pride.
Yes, thank you so much. You beautifully said it. All these 6 anarthas, as long as they are there, we may not get Krishna's pure devotional service. We may be able to do all these things, but as soon as we perform bhakti, Krishna takes notice. Look at this devotee. So and so is performing bhakti. That means he has taken his first step that he wants to sincerely serve me. Because all others can have different motives. For example, karma kandis. What do we mean by karma kandis? It is not that we don't like karma kandis. No. We like them. They are much better than people who are atheists. They are far ahead of them. Because karma kandis are those who are performing, whatever is given in the Vedas. They are performing sacrifices, they are performing, studies and things like that. But there is a problem there. They want something from the Lord. They said, I want my son to get married. I want this, that. Some particular purpose is there for that. It is absolutely not wrong. We are not saying it is wrong or something. It is not wrong, but it's not the highest. We always say good, better, best, right? So that's not the best. Why? Because we always have some motive. Even for us, right? When we have some nice friendship, if we sense that they have some motive, their relationship doesn't take too close, too intimate. You understand what I'm saying? If there is some motive, if there is some ulterior motives, we can make it, right? We can make out like, yes, there is some motive behind this. So when we talk about pure devotional service, if we have some other motive, Krishna can definitely sense he is right there in our heart as super soul. So we need to be very careful what we desire. And one thing we need to understand, then you might question, so do you mean that I shouldn't ask anything from my God? Anything from Krishna? You can absolutely ask, not a problem. Krishna says that, where he says, Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether you have full of desires, or whether you have no desire at all, or whether you want moksha, in whatever state you are, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Do devotional service intensely. Then Krishna will take us to different levels and will take us to the highest level, which will surpass all these things and will become like not only a kama, means no desires at all, but we will love Krishna pure-heartedly. Does that make sense, or is it getting too philosophical? Does it make sense so far what we are saying? So we need to watch our desires. So it's nothing wrong asking. Whom else we will ask? He is our father. But at the same time, we need to understand. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, there's a beautiful verse. He says, Ananyas chantayanto mam yejana paryupashate tesham nityabhiktanam yogakshemam mahamaham. For those devotees who are worshipping Krishna, for them, Krishna gives what they need. And Krishna protect what they already have. You see that? Krishna already protect what they have, and he is going to give what you need. Then why do we need to ask? Like a father or a mother, they know my child needs this. My child needs iPad for this particular time, because it is online classes. You don't have to even ask. We never ask our father, can you actually get dress for Diwali? They will definitely give for Diwali or any festivals, right? We don't have to ask, or you don't have to ask, Mom, can you please make sure that I get breakfast every day? Your mom is already giving. You don't have to ask. Like sometimes you may ask, but what in the essence, I hope you're all understanding what I'm trying to say. There are things which you will anyway get it. Because your parents, they will give you anyway. Similarly, the Supreme Parent, Krishna, even without you asking, definitely is going to give and protect what you have. So you don't need to specifically ask. Does that make sense? That's where the faith comes. Faith comes that, yes, what is that verse? Beautiful verse, which says, Rakshish yat iti visvaso. This is one of the limbs of surrender. There are 6 limbs of surrender. Anukulasya sankalpaha, pratikulasya varjanam, Rakshis yat iti visvaso. When we know that Krishna will surely protect us. Why? Because we are his children. We are part and parcel. Does that make sense? That point? So when we have that, that means we will not be in that anxiety, whether will I be able to get this or not. I need this, but I don't have it. That anxiety. We always said this, hankering and lamentation. These two are the symptoms of material disease. The fact that we are in material world, there is always a hankering. I want this, I want this, I want this, I don't have that. And then lamentation. Oh, I had that, but I lost it. That is lamentation. Hankering is I want. These are the symptoms which we need to be aware of it. And eventually, by performing bhakti, if we are sincere that Krishna, I want to sincerely surrender, then it is a matter of time. Krishna will remove all these things. We don't have to even put so much effort. Our effort has to be sincerity. Sincerely, I want to serve you, Krishna, without any motive. I don't want fame. I don't want name. I don't want all these material things. I want pure bhakti. When you have pure bhakti, you get everything. We know this story. We have said this many times, right? There was a king, and the king was super happy that day, because that was his birthday. He said, today is my 50th birthday. So I want to make sure that in my kingdom, everybody is happy. I don't want nobody to, be unhappy because I am happy. So he decided, okay, he called his minister and said, today you make an announcement that whoever wants anything in their life, if they want wealth, if they want land, or if they want something, ask them to come to my assembly and ask whatever they want. I will give them. So the minister announced, people started coming in big lines, and everyone came and asked, oh king, I need a house. The king said, okay, so be it, take it. Another person said, I need 10 acres of land. So be it. Another person said, I want to make sure that my daughter get married to such and such person, so you can give me some wealth so that I can give them. So like this, there are so many requests. King fulfilled everything. And he asked the minister, has everyone got whatever they want? The minister said, yes, everyone got except one. Who is that one? There is a lady there, and she is quite aged. She never came, and she is the one left out. Otherwise, everybody, they came and asked for things. The king said, call that lady. The soldiers went to that lady and asked, oh lady, the king wants to see you. Can you come? The lady said, see, I have a lot of things to do at home. I don't need anything. I'm completely contented, satisfied. You can tell the king. The person came and told the king, king, the lady said she doesn't want anything. The king said, there must be something. How can that lady be so contented? So the king himself went to that lady's house knocked at the door and said, "Excuse me, I am the king of this country. Can you please let me in?" The lady opened the door and welcomed the king and make him sit on the chair and said, "How can I serve you?" King said, "I want to serve you. I heard that you didn't come for the assembly to ask me anything. Now, please ask me. I want to give you something." The lady said, "I'm completely contented. I don't need anything. You're such a nice king. You're taking care of all the citizens so well. So what is there for me to ask anything?" Then the king said, "But I insist, because today is my birthday. And, I respect you." Then the lady thought, "Yeah, sure. Okay, king, you be my son." That is the thing she asked. "You be my son." That means everybody asks some things. Everybody asks little things. Some ask for some land, some ask for some money, some ask for some other things, some position. But this lady asked the king. That means she has everything in the kingdom, right? She has access to everything in the kingdom. That is intelligence. That is being wise. That's why devotees are intelligent. Why? Because they want Krishna. Who is Krishna? The supreme king. He is the king of all kings. He is the supreme creator who owns everything. We always say this definition for God, right? Two definitions we say. What is the first definition? Spec. Can anyone expand the word spec?
Supreme proprietor,
Supreme proprietor,
supreme enjoyer,
enjoyer,
controller, supreme controller,
supreme controller. Yes, what does S stands for? Ultimate?
Ultimate source of everything.
Yes, ultimate source of everything. Krishna is ultimate source of everything. He's a supreme protector. He's a supreme enjoyer, supreme controller. Whoever fits this definition, that person is supreme God. The second definition is, yesterday also we talked about it, right? Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yasasasriya jnana vairagyayos. That 6 opulences. Can anyone remember 6 opulences? Quickly, very quickly. 6 Aishwaryas.
Knowledge.
What is that?
Beauty.
Beauty,
Strength.
strength,
Wealth.
wealth,
Fame. Renunciation.
renunciation. That's it. Whoever has these 6 opulences in complete, in full, not just little bit, in complete, that person is supreme God. Just imagine Krishna, who has all the 6 opulences. If we love him and if he loves us, that means we have everything in this creation. We have access to everything in this creation. Isn't that an intelligent proposal? That's a good thing, right? What the lady asked to, ask the king to be the son of the deity. Similarly, if we do devotional service and Krishna recognizes us and we become Krishna and Krishna become ours, both are important. We should become Krishnas. We should be sold out to Krishna. And then Krishna, he is sold out to us. And it has been recorded many, many times in Bhagavatam and many, many times in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to so many devotees, especially to Vasudeva Datta, he says, "Declare it to the world that I am sold out to Vasudeva Datta. Wherever he wants me to sell, he can sell it." Can you imagine? The Supreme Lord says that I am the property of Vasudeva Datta. There is a great devotee. He says that. So beautiful. Coming back again. So recognition is not in want of a material fame. In want of Krishna's love. Like how a child wants the recognition of mom. How? Whenever the child is hungry, what does the child do? Baby? Give a lecture.
He goes to mommy.
Sorry?
He goes to mommy crying.
Mommy crying. That's the point. He goes to mommy crying. Crying is enough. Little bit crying, mommy knows, oh, the child is hungry, so I'll give. So for getting attention in that crying means what? Helplessness. Why do we need to be? Actually, I'm talking about all these things so that we actually get the essence there. When we are helpless in this material world, all of us are helpless. Actually speaking, our mind always takes us for a ride. There is never a time that mind doesn't bother us. Yes, there is a time. Once you are fixed in devotional service, that time mind doesn't bother. If you are seriously fixed in devotional service. Otherwise, mind will always give proposal. Mind will always say what you want. But many times mind will always say, also say, there are things which you never even thought about it. That's why we say intruder thoughts. Some thoughts are our own. Some thoughts are not our own. Some thoughts came from outside to influence us. And we think that they are also our thoughts. So that's how mind bothers us in many ways. So how do we control the mind? Controlling the mind is the impossible task. Who says is Arjuna? He says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadi balavadridam. His mind is very stubborn, obstinate, and it's restless. It's very difficult to control. I can even control the raging hurricane wind, but not mind. So that's why we always say, don't try to control the mind. Instead, engage your mind and senses in Krishna, then mind is automatically controlled. No need to work separately on mind. We need to engage mind and all the 5 senses in Krishna. Use all our senses in Krishna's service. How we can do this? How we can use our eyes in Krishna's service? Anyone?
Taking darshan of the deities.
Taking darshan of the deities. Nose.
Smelling the offered flowers.
Smelling the offered flowers. Then what about other senses? Ears.
Listening to kirtan.
Kirtan and?
Chanting.
Kirtan and, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam scriptures as well. Chanting for the tongue. Yes. And one more senses. What about our working senses? Yeah.
To do seva.
To do seva, to do service. We can actually do a lot of service. And whatever you are doing at home, that is also service. Let us not think that what we do at home is not service and what we do in temple only is service. No. If we are devotees, whatever we do in service, especially cleaning the house also, cooking, taking care of children, everything is a service. Many times Prabhupada has said to Matajis, to ladies, he said, when you are taking care of your children, you are doing deity worship. Can you believe that? First time when I heard, I was super surprised. Wow, that's amazing, right? When you are taking care of children, it is exactly like how you are doing deity service. That means you're doing aradhana and taking care of personally, doing abhishek and all those, services you do for deities. There is no difference, actually speaking, in a real sense. Similarly, in service, there is no discrimination. This service is better, this service is not. No. In Krishna's eyes, cleaning is as important as deity worship. There is no up and down. It's all equal. Cleaning is as important as cooking. Cooking is as important as, offering, and everything else in Krishna's eyes is equal. That is why whatever service we may do in temple or at home when we are devotees, all those services will give us Krishna Prem. They have that potency to give us Krishna Prem. All right, let's start. Let's think about this point with this nice story. This is a beautiful pastime of a Tiruppanalvar. Some of you might have heard this name, Tiruppanalvar. How many of you heard this name, Tiruppanalvar? Anyone? Yes.
Yeah, I think I've heard.
Yes.
Did he get Moksha and Srirangam temple? Is he the
Yes, exactly. Beautiful. Yes, true. Tiruppanalvar is one of the 12 Alvars. Alvars are like Goswamis. In Gaudiya Sampradaya, there are 6 Goswamis and many advanced devotees. Similarly, in Sri Sampradaya and Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, there are 12 Alvars. These 12 Alvars are great devotees. They are Mahajans. And out of them, the 11th Alvar is Tiruppanalvar. Tiruppanalvar appeared in a place called Urayur. Urayur is a town near Trichy. It is also called as Tiruchirappalli or Trichy. So that is a place right now, very close to that place. It's called Urayur. And this Tiruppanalvar, when right from young age, he was so good in music. He learned Veena so well. And he can sing so beautifully. With such sweet voice, he would always sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. And he was very attached to Lord Ranganath. So he would sing the glories of the Lord all the time. But one thing, he was always feeling very meek and humble. That is the sign of a devotee. Devotee will never think that I deserve first darshan. I deserve first respect. I deserve that, I need to be garlanded. No. Devotees will always feel that I'm a simple person. I don't deserve any of this respect or anything. I am insignificant servant of Krishna. That is the attitude of a devotee. That is how Tirupana was. And Panar, he would always think himself that he's not qualified to enter the temple. He wouldn't enter the temple. He has not taken darshan of Lord Ranganath until that point. He has not taken darshan. He has not gone to the temple, even though he lives close by. But he would constantly chant the names, constantly talk about him. He's always immersed in the chanting and the singing of Lord's glories. And one fine day, those of you who've been to Srirangam, Srirangam is a beautiful place. And near Srirangam, there is a river, holy river. Anyone know what is the name of the river?
Kaveri.
Kaveri is one of the holy rivers in the bank of Kaveri. And one day he was sitting there on the path and he was chanting and he was singing the glories. Actually, he was singing the glories. At that time, another great person, he's a great priest. He was the head priest of Srirangam temple. His name is Lokasharangam Hamuni. Lokasaranga was a great priest. And he would come every day through that path to get water from Kaveri. They will use the Kaveri water for services in Srirangam temple. So he was coming on the way. And that time he saw this particular person. He was, sitting like this, showing, his back, and he was singing something. He couldn't hear in a distance. And if you see, in that sampradaya, they have very strict regulations and rules. And when whoever is performing services, direct services to the Lord, they have to maintain very high standards of cleanliness. So they don't touch anyone. Even their family members, they don't touch anyone. It is not out of discrimination. It is out of being the cleanliness aspect. So they will make sure that they don't touch anyone. They would go take the water and bring it to the Lord to keep up the highest standard. So at that time, he saw this person is sitting there. So he was trying to call that person, "Excuse me, sir, can you move away? Because I'm taking water for the Lord." At that time, our Panar, Tirupanar, was so immersed in chanting. He was fully absorbed. He was glorifying Ranganath. At that time, he couldn't hear what this man, Lokasaranga, was saying. So he just was oblivious to his calling and he went on chanting. Lokasaranga called again, "Excuse me, sir, can you move away?" "No, but it is time for, performing services." He picked up a small pebble and threw at Tirupanar. And this was like, he didn't want to, hurt that person, hurt Panar. He picked up a pebble and threw it on him. And that pebble exactly hit at the forehead of Tirupanar. And his forehead, usually when something hits, it takes about few seconds for the blood to ooze out, right? So he saw that stone hit and immediately he woke up from his trance and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." He said Devarir. They would call them Devarir. That's like Prabhu, like how we call each other Prabhu. Like, "Oh, Prabhu, I'm so sorry, please forgive me that, I was so immersed and I didn't see you coming." Then he immediately moved aside and then again started singing. The meanwhile, blood was oozing out of his forehead. And he didn't even feel the pain. Tirupanar was so immersed. Again, he started glorifying, just moving aside. And then Lokasaranga went inside the Kaveri river and took water and went to Srirangam temple. And he was about to serve Ranganath. At that time, he noticed, he was shocked. He was literally shocked to see that. He saw Lord's forehead was bleeding. Whose forehead? Lord Ranganath's forehead was bleeding. He was seeing blood coming out of his forehead. And he was so shocked. And those of you know, it is very, very difficult to even comprehend what is happening at that time. The Lord is bleeding. What offense did I do? What kind of aparadh I did? So he was crying, "Lord, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I don't know what aparadh I did. And I see your forehead is bleeding." That time Lord Ranganath said, "Lokasaranga, you know what mistake you did? You threw a pebble at my pure devotee." He said, "No, actually I did that for, waking the devotee to move aside for your services." He said, "When he sings, I am always there with him. I am always there with him and he sings because he's my pure devotee. I love him so much. So when you threw pebble on him, I was there with him and that stone hit on me. Now I'm bleeding. Oh my Lord, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. How can I, get relieved from this offense?" And then the Lord said, "Go get this Tirupanar." Then he said, yes, my Lord, sure I will. Then Lord said, insisted, "See, but my Tirupanar is very humble. He won't come to see the temple. What you need to do, you put him on your shoulders. You lift him on your shoulders and walk to the temple from wherever he is." So immediately Lokasaranga, he ran to the place where Tirupanar was. And he ran and fell at the feet of Tirupanar and said, "Oh, great devotee, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I did a big mistake. Can you please come to the temple?" He said, "Me? No. I'm not fit for entering the temple. I'm totally unqualified. My mind is so corrupted. I cannot come to the temple. Please excuse me. Then he said, Lokasaranga said, I understand. Said Devarir, I understand. You will not come. But this is whose order? Lord Ranganath's order. He wants to see you. And he said, he wants me to carry you on my shoulder. So please get on. This is Lord's order. As soon as he said, this is Lord Ranganath's order, Tirupana started crying. He said, what mercy is this, Lord? I don't want to. See, I know Lokasaranga is a great priest. So he said, oh, Lokasaranga, we know you are the head priest of the temple. You are highly respected. And how can you carry me? I am such a lowly person. He's saying like that. Then, since it is Lord Ranganath's desire, he couldn't say anything. So with crying tears, he actually got on the shoulders of Lokasaranga, and Lokasaranga started carrying him, walked towards the temple. Everyone was surprised to see the great priest, the head priest, Lokasaranga Mahamuni. He was carrying this personality. Until then, hardly people knew who is Tirupana, because they thought he is also one of the singers. He is also one of the persons there around. Because in Srirangam, almost everyone is a devotee. There are millions of people, all of them are devotees. So it is very difficult to know each one is who. Like, so they thought another person. But Lokasaranga, they know him as a head priest. He is carrying Tirupana on his shoulder and walking. And he was also shedding tears. And he is also in ecstasy. And both are crying. And they walk towards the temple. As soon as he got into the temple, understand, all of you, Tirupana in his life, first time entering the Ranganath temple. And he got down and he started having darshan of the Lord. You know, we all have this, right? How do we take darshan of the Lord? There is a procedure to take darshan. How do we take? Anyone? When we go to temple, how do we take darshan? We start from where?
From the feet, from the
Yes.
feet up.
From the lotus feet. Yes, thank you. From the lotus feet, we go up all the way. So with crying, profusely shedding tears, our Tirupanalvar was looking at the Lord. First time he's seeing the beauty of the Lord. He started, singing 10 pasurams. Pasurams are abhangas in some other languages we say. Like they are the, I'm not finding the exact translation. It's like poems, but they are not just poem. It is devotional nectar poems. The poems which contains devotional nectar. They are called pasurams. Like verses, yes. So he started saying this 10 important verses. They're all important. They are called as Amaranadi Piran. And he was saying one for lotus feet, and he was gradually going up, and he was going to his belly, and he was going to his arms, and he was chanting verse by verses. And when he comes to his lotus eyes, the lotus eyes of Ranganath are at most beautiful. That time he started saying, Kondal Vannanai Kovalanai Vennai Undavayan En Ullam Kavarndanai. So like that, he started saying that. And after that, he goes, En Amudanai Kanda Kangal Matrondrinai Kanave. Like that, he's saying, whoever sees the eyes of the Lord, who has eaten butter, who has actually stole butter and ate butter. Vennai Undavayan means stole butter and ate butter. And that Lord, when we see the eyes of the, darshan of the Lord, my eyes are so fulfilled, are so contented. I don't want to see anything else. That means I'm so pleased, I'm so satisfied seeing the darshan of the Lord. I don't need to see anything else. This is the word he says. Amudanai Kanda Kangal, he said, missing the word. Underkon Ani Arangan En Amudanai Kanda Kangal Matrondrinai Kanave. When I saw this beautiful Lord Ranganath, this is the nectarian darshan. I don't need to see anything else. Saying this, he himself actually gave up his material body and he actually went into the body of Lord Ranganath. You understand that? He has literally, dissolved and went into the body of Ranganath. And when we say Tirumeni, this is a transcendental body of Lord Ranganath. That is the glory of Tirupanalvar. Tirupanalvar, he didn't show that he was studying Vedas. He didn't show that he was giving a lot of charities. He didn't show that he was doing big yajnas. He was not. What he was doing? Bhakti. Only bhakti. And what he got? He got the highest. The Supreme Lord himself sent his own servant, a head priest, and told him that you carry him on his shoulders. Just see, by then, Tirupanal becomes super famous throughout the area. Everyone knew that. Because it's not an ordinary incident, right? It's not an ordinary incident. The head priest is carrying someone on the shoulder and coming towards the temple. And he became super famous. So Krishna gave everything. On top of it, he gave the pure love and devotion, and he took him to his own kingdom. This is what this verse means. Krishna says, Vedeshu, Yagneshu, Tapasu Chaiva. He means to say that they're all important, like reading all this. But when somebody thinks that just by getting jnana, just by knowledge, I can reach God, no, it's not possible. And many times, just by jnana, just by knowledge, if I can reach, that person becomes proud. That's what happened many times. You have seen many Sanskrit scholars, they become proud, not realizing the essence. That point we need to understand. If we miss out the essence, then we miss out everything. What is the use of becoming a super scholar? Know all the Bhagavad Gita verses 700, up and down, right, left, center, everything we know, but don't know the essence. What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Manmana bhavamad bhakto mat yajumam namaskuru. Surrendering to Krishna, worshipping him, serving him nicely. If we miss out that point, then what is the use of knowing all this? That's why application of Bhagavad Gita is very, 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 very important. We always say this. Krishna has given us this 9 devotional services, right? What are the 9 processes of devotional service? Anyone?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vishnu,
Archanam, Dasyam,
Dasyam,
Sakyam,
Sakyam,
Atmanivedanam.
Atmanivedanam. All these are 9 processes of devotional service. And anyone can practice only one and perfect their life. It's possible. Just by hearing, just by chanting, only by chanting. That's what Tirupanalvar did. Tirupanalvar did not do any other big things. He did not perform big yajnas. What he did? Chanting the holy names. So that's what Prabhupada, again and again, he emphasized. 99% of our spiritual life depends on how we chant. If we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, nicely, with sincerity, that is enough. We don't need to do anything else, actually speaking. Chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, is enough for us to perfect life. And in fact, the Supreme Lord says, if someone chants even once, one Shuddhanam means one pure chanting, even once, that person is eligible to go back to spiritual world. That is the potency of the holy name. So what we need to do, Shravanam, Kirtanam, these two are very, very important. We need to hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then Kirtanam, chanting every single day. All these things has to be done every single day. It's not going to take much time. Initially it may appear, how am I going to manage all my job, my family, everything? But actually speaking, when we practice devotional service, Krishna makes nice arrangement. That means he arranges your life. He manages your time. Many times time management is a big question. But when we become devotees, when we start chanting the holy names, Krishna arranges your time and it will appear that you have enough time for everything. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So you will have time for chanting, you will have time for reading. I know many of you are coming for everyday reading and weekends are also. So it is all because Krishna is managing your time. That's why I always say, and I'm not saying it, Acharyas say, when somebody is chanting the holy names, Krishna immediately recognize that person and you come under Krishna's direct direction, immediate direction. Krishna actually start directing your life. Otherwise, what happens? If you are not devotees, then we have to worry about all the astrological, constellations, everything. This may happen, that may happen, this. But once we become devotees, we don't need to worry about all those things. Because Krishna takes direct charge of devotees. So what we need to do, that is recognized by Krishna. So what do we need to do to get recognized by Krishna? Simply chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is what all the acharyas have emphasized. So let's understand, performing bhakti is higher than everything put together, higher than studying Vedas, higher than all these things. But all of them are part of the process. Like we are studying also the Vedic essence, the essence of all the Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad, Bhagavad Gita. We need to study. So what we need to say, we shouldn't just stop there. Just by studying, it's enough. Studying and application. Application is the most important. We need to apply that in our life. How we can apply this verse in our life? Yes, I should start chanting immediately. If you are chanting already, you can try to increase the rounds. Try to offer whatever we cook, offer to the Supreme Lord in a plate and take prasadam every day. And in family together, we can sing sometime like Parthiban Prabhu today, he sang Kirtan. Like that, even family, 2-3 of us can chant together for 15-20 minutes in front of the Lord. It's all wonderful. We have seen, those of you from India, you might have seen the particular month of Margali. Every day morning, devotees would take instruments and chant bhajan on the road. They would go around. Why? To show the world that please do that. They would come early morning. We say bhajan, early morning bhajans. That has been happening everywhere. So when we follow this, it is a matter of time. We can actually have Krishna. We can actually experience Krishna and have him. So with that, we will conclude. Any questions?
I think since you started talking about alvars, I became very curious. That's a very big for South Indians. Maybe others would like to hear a little bit explaining them how they revived Hinduism from the South.
Yes, that's wonderful. Would you like to say, sir? Would you like to elaborate on it? Or?
I have no idea. You have
No
I have some idea, but not as much as you. No, maybe others will love to hear that from you.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. There are actually 12 alvars, and all these 12 alvars, out of them, Andal is also there. Andal is none other than the supreme consort of the Lord. Andal of the alvars is also daughter of Periyalvar.
I had to leave. Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's
Sorry.
fine. No problem. Understand. Does anyone know what are the names of the 12 alvars? Can anyone share? It would be a nice introduction.
I know few, I can tell.
Yeah. You can say, we will add it to it.
Periyalvar, Periyalvar, Nammalvar, Peyalvar, Bhudattalvar, Tiruppanalvar, Peyar, Bhudattar, Tiruppanalvar, Kulasekara Alvar, Andal is one among them. Ramanujar is one among them. Ramanujar is not.
We don't add him to 12 alvars.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, okay. Peyar, Bhudattar.
Poigai Alvar, Thirumangai Alvar.
Poigai Alvar, Peyar,
Thirumangai.
Bhudattalvar. Then
Thirumangai Alvar.
Thirumangai Alvar and
Thirumalai
Alvar.
Got it right now. So all this great devotees, all of them, they're all exalted Mahajans. And each of them appeared in different time. Of all, first Alvar is Nammalvar. Nammalvar appeared 48 days right after Krishna. Krishna left in this planet. After finishing up his pastimes, he went back to spiritual world. In 48 days, Nammalvar appeared. Nammalvar appeared in a place called Alvar Tirunagari. Alvar Tirunagari is down south near Tirunelveli. Tirunelveli is one of the big cities. And many Alvars appeared in that area too. And Tiruppanalvar, I said he appeared in the place of Trichy. Near Trichy is the central part of Tamil Nadu. So like that, several Alvars appeared in several places. And the place where our Jayanti auntie, that place is called Virudhunagar. Nearby, there is a place called Srivilliputtur. From that place, the great Andal Thayar appeared. Andal is actually revered so much. The whole particular month of Margali, that month is celebrated in glorifying the devotion of Andal, right? They sing this Tirupavai every day. So like this, every Alvar has contributed so much. In fact, it is said the language Tamil literally nourished and also flourished by these great devotees. They gave this Nalayira Divya Prabandham. They wrote much more. This Nalayira Divya Prabandham is 4,000 verses. And each Alvar gave, Alvar gave 10 verses. Some Alvars gave hundreds of verses. So all of them, if you see, like today, one verse I was saying, was quoting this verse from Tiruppanalvar, which is so beautiful to, narrate and also to understand. the devotion they had. What a devotion, what a surrender they had like that. So in that way, the language also grew, language also flourished. At the same time, they create a revolution. In fact, all these alvars, they create a literally revolution. And there you can see there is no discrimination. Alvars are from in different levels, social status, everything. Some of them are super rich, like Kulashekar Alvar is a king. And some of them don't have any money at all. Some of them born in different families. But all of them are highly respected, and they brought this devotion which was deep in the heart so that everybody can see now and they can adopt and follow in their life. That is the Acharya's job. Acharya, he's already pure. He has that. So he brings it out so that people can access it. Otherwise, not everybody has access to it. So Alvars brought that out. How similarly Goswamis in Gaudiya Sampradaya, they brought out devotion to everybody's hands. How? We all have the chanting beads, right? Many of us have that. And we can access Krishna through the chanting beads. He said that when Krishna chants, when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna literally dances on our tongue. We cannot see it because our eyes are not anointed with pure love. But literally Krishna is there in every syllable. And Krishna is non-different from his form, from his name, from his paraphernalia, actually. So again, coming to the point of Alvars. So all these Alvars literally brought revolution and brought together all masses of people and gave them devotion. So that is some, in a nutshell. But some other time, like how we did today, like some other time we did Poigai Alvar also. If you remember, we did about this Yadoktakari temple. Sonnavannam Seida Perumal, I was talking about that, like Kanikannan is told the story of Kanikannan. Again, we'll repeat some other time. So when time permits, we can discuss more about our Alvars. But it is very wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I went over time. Please excuse me. If no questions, we can conclude. If you have any questions, maybe with one questions, we can complete.
Maybe it will be good if you speak about each Alvar in each session. Maybe it will help us understand the history better. Yeah, sure. Because, since we are dealing this Bhagavad Gita verses 108 verse, wherever this appropriate place come, like today I thought about Tirupan Alvar. So like that, in that way we can cover. It will be very nice. But thank you. It's a wonderful thing to know about Alvars. It's so beautiful. It will be so inspiring for all of us to follow in their footsteps. Thank you, Soumya. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for your
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. So please observe Ekadashi. It will be very nice. Most of you know how to observe Ekadashi. On Ekadashi day, it is mentioned that we should avoid grains and green beans. So you can eat fruits and quinoa like that, or vegetables. Wonderful. And more importantly, we should chant the holy names as much as possible. And in case if any of you like to have the chanting beads, do let me know. And most of you are in the WhatsApp group. You can give me a message. I can come to your house and give you the beads. Or if you need Bhagavad Gita also, do let me know. I'll be happy to come and give you the beads and Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.